Hello, everybody. This is your introduction to Trimble Unity Construct. When you first log into the program, you land on a home page that shows this way. And you will know that you're in the right spot by saying, welcome your name. We'll start with the global tabs across the top that are in the blue banner. This takes you across all of the software program locations. We'll go down to below the City of Tampa logo for announcements for new users. Welcome new users. If you have questions that you need to ask immediately, you can call the 813-635-3400. They will be able to answer simple questions for resetting your password. If you need more detailed help or troubleshooting, please email us at trimbleconstruct@tampagov.net. That will come to a team that will respond to you within that same day. The next section of the home page is setup of multiple dynamic grids that will have blue hyperlinks that will take you to specific locations within the program. When you first set up, this has a lot of information that you do not need. So we're going to set that up by going to edit my home page. You're going to turn many of the widgets off that we don't need. And for construction folks, you will keep my submittals and my processes. If you're using this for simply designs, you will just turn off submittals as well. And then when you've finished doing those actions, you simply close the page, and you notice now you only have a one page of information. The dynamic grid is set up with many columns that are sortable. If you simply do the toggle on and off, it will sort those. You notice anything with a blue hyperlink will take you directly to that, either to the project or to an instance, which is what Trimble calls a process, which most people know as a workflow. The other columns are for information that the city tracks. So you know what the subject of the workflow is, what step it's in, what company submitted it. We're going to change that dynamic grid for you as well. So if you hit the three ellipses, you come over, we're going to add columns, because what's also important is how old is that process. You want to know who is responsible for the step, and you want to know how long it has been in that step, because Trimble is also a document tracking, process tracking, but it's also an audit trail, so we can keep processes moving along. So notice the column headers changed. You can't move them around. That is set up by the program. The next setup we're going to do is back up along the global headers. We'll go to the three white dots. We're going to come take a few things off that we're not currently using right now. We're going to take off dashboards, planning, forms, the bidding module, and leave the rest up. What that does, it just makes the global tabs not as cumbersome. How we get into a specific project, you could simply jump by going to the project, but I'm going to show you, you're going to go across to the global tabs. You're going to have a list of all the projects that you've been assigned to. We'll come through and we'll look at the Hannah Avenue. We will jump into that project by simply selecting the web page. What you see pop up is the project details page, and you have a vertical menu. In this case, it's closed. To open it back up so you can see the words that are associated with the symbols, you see that the details page is open. Project details are across the top. It tells you what is the project name, who is the administrator, is the project still active, where is it in the city, and then the custom fields are more for the City of Tampa tracking documentation that you may or may not want to know. Typically what everybody will be looking for is, how do you get to a process, which is what we may know it as a workflow. You select on the processes tab, the menu page changes, and you notice you have all of the processes associated with this project. notice there were 595 technician daily reports. This can be filtered by lots of items. You can come through, the filter box is empty. Here are all of the different types of actions that has happened for this project. If I go over and talk about allowance distribution, I want to sort by that. I can sit here, change it. I want to say how many are still open. They're all closed, but I could do it by draft or open. I close the box. I get a dynamic grid to show you that there were 49 WDCs associated with this, and you can click on it, brings up a window and shows you what has happened for history. You can change that filter by turning it off by simply taking the filter and hitting the X button. Other things that I will circle back around to from when you start up is how to make sure that the pop-up menu is set up properly for your computer, because Trimble works with pop-ups. So you would go to your Google Home, you go to the computer 3 dots, come down to settings, simply type in the word pop. It will start to highlight yellow for you, so you can go to settings, the pop-up fields. You can scroll down to pop-ups and redirects. And you want to make sure that the allowed redirects happen on your computer. And you notice that all you have to copy is the https gov.ebuilder.net. That allows your Chrome setting or web browser to allow pop-ups from Trimble. That is an important item, or you won't see many things in the system. The next item from here is, how do you save the Trimble to your desktop? If you go back to the eBuilder login, to Home, then go back to the 3 ellipse, scroll down on Chrome to Cast, Save, and Share, and then create the shortcut. Recommend changing that to, instead of My Home, type in that to Trimble, and it will populate a shortcut for you on your home page. And if you have more additional questions, how you find that is when you go to any project, underneath the project details, you actually have, underneath the project details, you have a web link section to say web link Trimble training. It takes you to the contract admin Trimble construct. It gives you a PowerPoint slides for how to do what I just showed you. Pay applications to help you walk through a pay application for construction, and one for design applications. Again, if you have any help, Trimble Construct at tampagov.net or 813-635-3400. Thank you very much for your time.